What's up everybody, welcome back to another video. I know I'm late to the party, but better late than never, as today I'm going to give you my thoughts on the performance of the Adidas DAME 9. So let's get straight into it. Start with the retail price. Amazing value for money, 120 euros or dollars. That's just something I love about Damian Lillard. He really cares about the consumers and the people that are going to hoop in his shoes as well. And of course, we also have the Dame Certified Free, which retails for even less and is also a very nice performer. One thing that was very strange about the Dame 9, and that's also the reason why I have the Dame 8 XTPLY here, was these released in January of 2022, and these only released towards the end of 2024, so it was really a long time without a new signature line that led to a lot of speculation about if the line is being cancelled. Fortunately enough, it wasn't, and Damian Lillard actually gave us the reason himself for that delay in the Wear Testers comment section, so shout out to Nightwing and the whole Wear Testers crew. Of course, I watched that video when it first released, and he said the original design for the Dame 9 had to be scrapped, and they came up with a brand new design. I believe the reason for that is also that they saw they had great success with the Harden 7 at that time, the AE1 that came out, also with the Harden 8, and they kind of wanted to move into the same direction with the design of the Dame 9 as well. And I'm very happy that they did, because they are one hell of a performer. So without further ado, let's start with the performance features and go into detail on their traction performance. The outsole features a translucent rubber, and the pattern is kind of like a thunderbolt-like pattern. It's very similar to a herringbone pattern, just the grooves look a little bit different. Just reminds me of a thunderbolt, that's why I call it that. And what I also like is that they are not aligned in the same direction throughout the whole outsole, but we've got it's like an area-specific traction pattern. So here in the forefoot, it's a little bit more aligned to the side. Here we have it straight up, back here we have it to the side again. So that's just very nice, as it offers great multi-directional coverage. The only downsides are that the outsole picks up a good amount of dust. There's still a lot of dust stuck here in the outsole. Granted, I was on a very dusty court the last time I hooped with them, and it's not the most durable. So if you're planning to hoop with these outdoors, I would stay away from them. I would look for something like the Dame 8 XTPLY, because they actually have a very durable outsole that didn't have the best indoor performance, but for outdoor courts, I think you should be just fine with those. Here, these have excellent indoor performance, so they really stick to the court very well. Even on a dustier setup, just as I said, they do pick up dust, so remember to wipe from time to time. But let's be honest, basketball players, we do that anyways, no matter if there's dust on the outsole or not. And just maybe don't take them outdoors. If you really want it, they will perform nicely, but they probably won't last as long. It's also an indoor shoe, just keep that in mind before ravaging about why they're not durable enough. They are made for indoors, so yeah, that's just my recommendation. Don't take these outdoors. Either go for the XTPLY, the model from before, or also a great option, the Dame Free Certified, great budget model that you can wear down outdoors without any concern. That's everything for the traction performance already. Let's move on to probably my favorite feature of the shoe, which is the cushioning. Just like the design of the Dame 9, the cushioning setup underwent a big change, because usually on the Dame 9 we had full length bounce foam, but here we have light strike. It says here on the medial side of the shoe, so if you're somebody who forgets about that, that's a nice reminder. And when I first heard that they'll have light strike, I was a little bit concerned, because it was rather inconsistent in the past, if you know what I'm talking about, with Adidas shoes. Sometimes it was great, sometimes it didn't feel good at all. So I was skeptical, but when I first put them on foot, just inside my flat, I already knew this was going to be one hell of an iteration of light strike. It's a really thick slab of light strike. It's completely exposed on the medial side, and then here on the lateral side it's caged, so you have a good amount of compression, but you're also nice and supportive. I also like that it's caged on the lateral side, because usually when you roll your ankle, you roll it into this direction and not inwards. So I like that they kind of try to take care of that, but we'll talk more about the supportive features in the next part of the video. Now, simply for the cushioning, it feels really damn nice. The insole is nothing special. It's your regular Adidas Ortholite insole. That's what we're used to already. But in this case, it doesn't even matter, just because the slab of light strike is so damn thick. It feels so good underneath your foot. It's really comfortable, especially in the heel area. You get great impact protection. Actually, a shame that the outsole is not durable enough, because these, just from a cushioning standpoint, would be great for outdoors, because you still have good court feel, but you have really a lot of impact protection, and that's just a very nice feeling. Essentially, also how I like it with my shoes, a lot of impact protection in the heel, lower to the ground in the forefoot. These are definitely higher up than something like, let's say, the Kobe 9 or the Book 1, which I also like to play with, but they have more impact protection in the heel and also throughout the forefoot, which is nice, and they're still not that high up off the ground. So the cushioning setup is definitely a highlight for me. It felt really, really nice, very comfortable, yet still being relatively low to the ground in the forefoot. So overall, they really did a great job, and I'm glad they changed it up from bounce to light strike. Now moving on to the support features, that's also a highlight for this shoe. For one, the lacing system works very well, and you really are locked in like crazy because they move all the way up front and really cables go here down the side, so you're really nice and stable on the footbed. The one thing that's a little bit weird is this inner booty construction here. So it actually also felt a little bit weird for me at first. It felt like there was not as much support, or it just wasn't as tight here in the ankle area. But if you lace them properly, you'll be secured and locked in. There's no heel slip. It's just a little bit of a weird feeling, as it's also kind of hard to get your foot into the shoe at first. It is elastic, kind of like a neoprene sock liner, so it will stretch out a little bit. Not too much where it gets unstable, from my experience up to now, but it's just a little bit of a weird feeling at first. So don't be put off by that if it's your first time trying a shoe like that. I know the Harden line has also had that, but this is a way thicker sock liner than on the Harden 7 or 8 or 9, for example. So it's just a different feeling. It's a very plush feeling, but a little bit weird at first. Just make sure to lace the shoes down tightly. The tongue is adequately padded, so there's no issues with the laces cutting into your feet. And as I said, the support features are very, very good. We have what Adidas calls its infinity plate, which is a torsional plate. Looks a little bit like carbon fiber. It's not, unfortunately, but it still does a great job. The one thing to keep an eye out is that it's a very, very stiff setup at first. There are some flex points here on the medial side and also on the lateral side, so that you can actually flex your toe area nicely, which I like a lot. This is exactly where a shoe should flex. The only thing to keep an eye out, as I said, is that it's still a very, very stiff setup at first. So you really need to put a lot of force into the shoe to bend them. And that can be a little bit of a pain or uncomfortable for players who are not used to shoes like that, especially because that torsional plate, or the infinity plate, how Adidas calls it, is just so stiff. We also have this plasticky overlay here. I said that's also kind of the caging for the cushioning. It also acts like an outrigger, which is nice. We have a very wide base, as you can see here. Also protrudes out a little bit right here. So a very wide base. Overall, that's great for ankle rollers. As I said before, also that the caging is on the lateral side of the shoe. You really are very stable when you're in the Dame 9. And we also have a heel counter, which also works great. As I said, there's no issues with heel slip, and you really are locked in when inside the Dame 9. Moving on to the materials. This is also an interesting factor, as they also take some time to break in. It's an all synthetic leather, and it has kind of a little bit of a plasticky feel because it has this patent leather vibe, which I like a lot. I think that looks really, really cool. Overall, this is also one of the best colorways of the Dame 9 out there. But the downside is it does take some time to break in. So as you can see, I've hooped with them a couple of times already, and it's still relatively stiff. The plus side, or the benefit of a material like that, is that it's a very soft and plush feeling, like all around your foot. As I said, the cushioning is so soft, and also the materials are padded on the inside, and because they are so thick, my foot just feels really comfortable and taken care of in this shoe, if that makes sense. Wasn't the case as much here, because here the materials were way different. It's also synthetic, but they were a little bit softer, still needed some time to break in, and just didn't give that plushness or that cozy vibe that I got when I slipped my feet into the Dame 9. So I really, really like the materials here. There's a little bit of a weird feature in the heel, as there's a seam running like all the way at the back of your heel where your Achilles is. So that could maybe cause some irritation. Didn't for me, but just a heads up. Apart from that, the heel is also very, very padded, so there's no issues there. And overall, everything is nice, padded and soft, and just a very, very cozy feeling. Moving on to the last category of this shoe, which is going to be the fit and the weight. First, for the fit, it's a little bit weird with Adidas shoes, as you know. For Nike, I wear US 14. For Adidas, I wear a 13.5, because in my opinion, those two shoes just fit exactly the same, or those two sizes fit exactly the same from Nike and for Adidas. So I would say go true to size. If you have narrow feet, you could even go down half a size. It could still work, but it's going to be very snug. For wide footers, I would definitely not go down half a size. I would stay true to size. They're actually relatively wide in midfoot, and once the materials are broken in, they shouldn't hurt your feet. For me, it was a very comfortable break-in, and usually shoes tend to hurt my feet. So I really enjoyed these, and I think if you have a wide midfoot and go true to size, you will also enjoy them. For the weight of the shoes, they are a little bit more on the heavy side, like almost every Adidas basketball shoe. Just keep in mind, as I said, size 13.5, so the weight could be a little bit higher than what you usually hear. We have 513 grams or 18.10 ounces for the Dame 9. And just for a comparison, here is the Dame 8 XTPLY. It should be around the same weight. We have, oh, it's actually heavier, 20.65 ounces or 585 grams. So there's actually a pretty big difference there. Didn't feel as big on foot, to be honest, but it's nice that they actually also managed to cut down the weight of the shoe. With that being said, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for waiting such a long time on my Dame 9 review. I hope I could help you out and I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a like and also comment your thoughts on the Dame 9 down below. Also maybe on the upcoming Dame 10, they'll retail for only $100, which is really cool. And I think they're set to drop at the end of June or the beginning of July. That being said, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, leave a like, comment your thoughts. Have a good one and see you next time.